dangerous woman. Something about. I feel like get out of my face, wire. Hello everyone, my name is May. Welcome back to me. Today we're doing one of the most anticipated videos to film. As you can see, that is my favourite books that I read in 2018. 2018 was a bloody fantastic reading year, I'm not gonna lie. I've done my worst books, and so it's only right, I think, now to do my best. I have 6 that are my absolute top favourite. 2 of them are like the first and second in a series, so kind of, I'm still counting them as 2 books, but they're kind of, you know, you categorise them as one, just continuation of awesome. Then I have honourable mentions, which did not quite make the cut of my absolute favourite, but, you know, they tried. All of the ones on this top 6 list, I'm not going to bother saying out how many stars they have, because they all have 5 stars. What I have here is Lost in a Good Book by Jasper Fforde. This is a sequel to the first book, which is The Air Affair, and these books are part of the Thursday Next series. I didn't think the first book could continue on with the massive ideas that it had and bring them and make them any bigger, and then it did, and I was like, whoa. So impressed with what Jasper Fforde managed to do. What a genius. He's forever one of my favourite whimsical writers. He manages to write a high standard of literary content. Jasper Fforde and Terry Pratchett and Jonathan Stroud are some of the only people that I know who can do this so well, who write really high-level literature, but also just has this very talkative sense about it. The next one is actually a play, and I was not expecting to love this so much. I was doing a monologue for it, and that is Day One Hotel Evening by Joanna Murray Smith. She's an Australian playwright, and I think I'm probably the first one to ever give it a rating on Goodreads. This play was just so cool. It follows 6 different characters, all married couples, and kind of all of them sleeping around a little bit, but also this major job which is happening for one of them that kind of interconnects all of them. And as much as that sounds like a lot of just family drama, it's so much more than that. These characters are just so deep and rich and have these amazing personalities which are so fun to explore. I'm not much of a romantic person myself, but the way the monologues are written, the words are just so pretty. I can just see it playing out on stage, and I really wish I could put on a play of this because it's just so good. I highly recommend you track down and read this book, but it's really hard to. I actually had to go to a completely different university in my city to try and track this down. Then I had to go to their archive, where you're not allowed to remove the book. I read it in one sitting and handed it back. The next book I have is Nevermore by Jessica Townsend. This book was just so adorable, and all the things that I love the most, like Diana Wayne Jones and Terry Pratchett and Studio Ghibli and Alice in Wonderland, all like mashed together into this cool cube block of amazing. Now we come to the 2 books which were just so amazing. The first one and its sequel. First one being The Wizards of Once by Cressida Cowell. This book, oh my gosh, it was just so good. But then it's not on the top 2 of my absolutely most loved books for the year because it was knocked out of the water by its sequel. Twice Magic. Oh my goodness, what an amazing book. Oh my god. By Wizards of Once and Twice Magic, I listened to the audio and then read along with the book because the book has these amazingly, adorably drawn pictures, but then also David Tennant. You don't really want to miss out on that now, do you? I in fact have a whole review for the first book, which I'll leave in the description. Basically, it's just wizards warring with warriors, and then there's a bunch of giants and sprites, and then witches, which are busy trying to bring evil magic and kill everybody. But this book brought in a whole nother element to this, being an emperor and then some other huge prison full of these other people. It just expanded everything so much. One thing that I especially loved about this book was that it managed to make the characters' parents actually important. The ability to make a middle grade reader care about the adults in the story that are parents in the story is really hard, because often as a middle grade reader, I'm sorry, you still kind of think that parents and adults are just a pawn in your life, and once you get to adulthood, obviously, clearly you're a boring person with no interesting traits about you at all. But this managed to break that glass ceiling and make their parents as really intricate and interesting parts of this story. They were just fascinating, and I would definitely read this again in a heartbeat. In fact, I think I probably will before I leave my parents' place. This woman also wrote the How to Train Your Dragon series, if you don't know her. Sharing the pedestal of the best books that I read this year with Twice Magic is Words of Radiance by Brandon Sanderson. This book was just, oh my gosh, what an amazing sequel. I thought I had been blown out of the water last year by Way of Kings, and then Brandon Sanderson was like, wait, I got something better. I have not yet picked up the 3rd book, Oathbringer, but I'm kind of trying to pace myself because I know probably the next book is not going to be out till like 2021 or something. The series, a lot of people are intimidated by it because the first book is 1,000 pages and then the second book is 1,200. My answer to that is you should just stop being a chicken. You're chickening out. You do know actually more pages just means more awesome, right? I have yet to make an actual review for Way of Kings, but I do, like, it's on my list. I do plan to. I feel like I was way not energetically excited enough about those, but I'm really tired, so... We get to the honourable mentions, which I'm going to give lightning fast. Mostly made up of 5-star reads, but there's a few 4-star reads as well. Number 1 being The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. This book I was really excited to read because apparently it was written over 3 different NaNoWriMos, and I just finished NaNoWriMo, so I was really excited to read it. It was a bit slow-paced in the middle, which is why it still had 5 stars, but it really paid off. This book was fantastic. The next 2 are a double whammy, Morning Star and Golden Sun by Pierce Brown. These books got 4 and 5 stars. I think it had a little bit of narrative fatigue, but oh my goodness, what an amazing wrap-up to this trilogy. You forgot Iron? Get that shit away from me! We are not speaking about Iron Gold at all. If it ruins everything, I'm gonna ruin everybody. Next book only had 4 stars, and that is because the romance screwed up. Ha! What's new? Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. This book was just so fantastic, and I loved the vibe and the feel. But as we learned last episode in the worst books that I read, you know the best way to kill a story? A bad relationship. Highly worth the read. Go read it. The Tale of Two Cities got 4 stars. This was amazing. The way that book ended was perfect. The last book in my honourable mentions is Vicious by V.E. Schwab. This book was not as amazing as I expected, but at the same time, it was different to what I expected. It was a lot both more and less sinister than I thought, and also left me craving chocolate milk at the end. Alright, so we have hit a wrap. That is the best books that I read. In the next video, I'm planning to release my plan for this year's reading goal of 2019 and what I plan to do and how I'm planning to run this channel, because I'm hoping to possibly make a few changes and I'm not quite sure. We'll get into that next video because this video is already very long, I know. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Goodbye. John Murray. That's really interesting. Really interesting. Interesting.